NC State's run to the Final Four is every much the same Cinderella run that VCU made with Shaka Smart, that George Mason made, and even Loyola Chicago a few years ago that they made. Those three schools now move over. A fourth is being added to the list in terms of Cinderella runs since the turn of the century, because NC State is absolutely in that category. They are Cinderella. Because at this point, I think Cinderella is not about conference. It's about seeding. It's a double-digit seed that, makes it to the Final Four. You never see that happen. NC State just tied the record for the lowest seed to ever make a Final Four as an 11. It's incredible. It's unthinkable. No one saw this run coming. And I don't think the fact that they're in the ACC should disqualify them from being called a Cinderella. Right? But usually that term has been thrown around for mid-majors. Again, George Mason, not in the power conference. VCU, not in the power conference. Loyola Chicago, not in the power conference. Just because a team like NC State's in the ACC and from a power conference doesn't mean they're not a Cinderella. This team, first of all, they have no business even being in the tournament. Look at their record. In the regular season, before the ACC tournament started, they were 17-14. 17-14. 9-11 in the ACC. No business being anywhere near the tournament. Yet what do? Win 5 games in 5 nights in the ACC tournament to win and automatically get in. They were not getting in the tournament unless they beat UNC in the championship game to get there. They also had to beat Duke as well. So they beat 2 top 4 seeded teams just to get to the actual NCAA tournament, keep their season alive. No team, by the way, has ever in the ACC won 5 games in 5 nights. They become the first to do so. And now you look at even their run to the Final Four, having to beat a 2-seeded Marquette, having to beat again a team you just beat last week, or I should say a few weeks ago in Duke, beat them again in the Elite Eight to get to the Final Four. They had a tough road they had to get through, had an improbable start to their regular season in the sense that they were just nothing more than an average team, needed the automatic qualifier of the ACC just to make the tournament, and now here they are in the Final Four. How are they not a Cinderella? They absolutely are. So being an 11 seed, needing to win 5 games in 5 nights just to keep their season alive, going further than anybody ever imagined or thought. Now in the Final Four, now 2 wins away from a national title. They're Cinderella. For me, Cinderella is about seed, not conference. So just because most Cinderellas we've talked about in the past are from mid to lower conferences, now because NC State is historically has been a very basketball-rich conference, doesn't mean they're disqualified from being called a Cinderella, because their run is exactly that. It's a Cinderella run. And it's funny because you can't even put a finger on what led to this turnaround. After the game, DJ Burns Jr. Let's get that one right. DJ Burns Jr., I would say right now the most lovable college basketball player in the country, was talking to Tracy Wolfson after the game, and she asked a question we've all been thinking. This team, frankly, sucked in the regular season. What has led to the turnaround where they have won 9 straight elimination games? In order to make the Final Four, DJ Burns tries to give you some sort of answer. Take a listen.
There's just been a total switch in our commitment. Nobody's being late to things. Nobody's, being a problem on the court. Everybody's come together. I don't know what it is, but everybody's handling on and off the court well.
That's it, Carlos. That's all you got to do. You want to go to the Final Four, show up to a few meetings on time, not be a problem on the court, and all of a sudden now your team's going to just win 9 games in a row, keep your season alive, and make one of the most improbable runs we have seen in the last 24 years of the tournament to the Final Four. It's that simple. I don't know why more coaches don't implore that mentality, but you kind of heard in DJ's answer, he's not even sure what kind of led to it. I think that's honestly, to me, part of the mystique right now of NC State in this run is they're just playing great basketball. It's not like they got players back that were injured, in the regular season. It's not like their style of play changed. They have right now just gotten hot at the absolute right time. And so VCU, George Mason, Loyola Chicago, and now in that Cinderella group since 2000, I would put NC State as a fourth team. They, to me, are absolutely a Cinderella.